So when I say sad Satan, what do you think of? Cause me, I think of a YouTube rabbit hole, lies, and illegal content. I have been interested in this rabbit hole for years. I've done years of research. Granted, I have not made any groundbreaking discoveries unlike several YouTubers. Point is, we're going on a journey. This is how Sad Satan became completely distorted by the internet. It's a whole new day. Yeah, so recording in one day is like actually difficult. Hell and Earth, or in basic terms, where does Sad Satan even come from? Well, to put that answer pretty lightly, it comes from just a YouTuber. As far back as evidence can prove, from my research and from other YouTubers' research, it was made by the original uploader, with gameplay that you can see in the background behind me of mostly just walking. It was not a very interesting game on a gameplay front. Visually, as you can see, it's a massive nothing burger, and it's something. It's, if I remember right, it was free, thank God. But also that leads into like my big point of the video. The internet misconstrued the fuck out of this game. Yes, it was scary at first. Sad Satan was not always the malware-infused, child pornography-bearing, terrifying, traumatizing game that people claim it has always been. You see, something I've noticed with the mini documentaries, as I like to call them, on YouTube about Sad Satan, most of them neglect the fact that it wasn't always that way. That happened, like, I think roughly a couple months after the video went big and people wanted to download the game, so the creator put a copy out there, but it was a malicious copy. My research may be wrong. Maybe it wasn't the YouTuber who made that awful copy. But that is what my research has led me to find. So, about my history with Sad Satan, it was like one of the first shock games, or like shock pieces of media I had ever found outside of like, there's this one like gore site that I found as a kid that I cannot remember the name of for the life of me. I'll put her up in post. I'll put it somewhere on the screen in post. But yeah, there was that. There's Meat Spin. There was, I don't know. But point is, outside of shock sites, I'd never really been exposed to games like Sad Satan. So that was kind of my first introduction to horror of this genre. And it's funny, because I hate Sad Satan. I think it is a terrible horror concept as it is. It's just cheap shock with dead people and illegal imagery, with some corny, obviously fake images thrown in the mix. I think it's very cheap. In my opinion, good horror relies on good atmosphere and actual tension. I kind of like the visual style of Sad Satan. Like, I like the very high contrast black and white style. I like that. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, for fuck's sake, look at this video. This video looks ancient on purpose. I have a very specific niche that I like. So here's a fun little thing that I wanted to do that kind of kept this video on the back burner for like a year now. I have some accounts from friends that I'd like you to go ahead and take a listen to, because I think it's pretty neat getting to hear people's first exposure to a piece of media that really shocked them, the way that Sad Satan kind of shocked me when I first found it. Take it away, Turt.
The first piece of media I've ever seen that genuinely shook me was called Full Animal Crossing Obscure OST. Now, okay, before you say anything, I know horror ARGs are probably the most saturated thing on YouTube right now, outside of like, I don't know, Minecraft videos. But there was something a lot different about this one to me. Animal Crossing is a game series that I grew up on. I have hundreds upon hundreds of hours in New Leaf, and I own physical copies of every single game in the franchise. It's a series that was a major part of my childhood, a part of my past that I still hold very close to my heart. I think ultimately that's what made it so fucked up to me. It's an ARG about cult manipulation and the fear of death. I've always had an intense fear of death ever since I was a child. The inevitability of it is something that I've always avoided talking or even thinking about, but combining that with the childlike whimsy that I get from the older Animal Crossing games, it's insanely jarring to experience a well-crafted mix of those two ideas.
The first time I remember being truly shocked by a piece of media was about 8 or 9 years ago when my friend and I were on a bus on our way home from school. We were just watching YouTube, and it was like the old YouTube, so there wasn't really a lot of safe search features. Anyway, while we were looking through the recommended page, a video stuck out to us. I don't remember what it was titled or what the thumbnail was, but I knew that it grabbed our attention enough to watch it. It opened to a live feed of a factory, and it didn't seem like much at first, but after a while, a machine in the back of the factory actually caught fire and exploded. I know a lot of media now has a lot of simulated death and gore. A good example of this is something like Call of Duty gameplay or like gore art, but little tiny me, 8 or 9 years ago, was not exposed to that. So seeing actual real human body parts and watching a genuine real life disaster happen was actually terrifying at the time.
So, we made it to the end of the video. It's pretty cool. I have taken so long on this video, and it's honestly drained so much out of me, but I'm so happy with how it came out, and I really hope you guys are too. This is easily the hardest I've ever worked on a YouTube video. It's the most research, the most collaboration, it's the most anything I've ever put in, and I could not be happier. If you guys enjoyed this, I hate being that type of YouTuber, but liking and subscribing would mean the world to me. Sharing with a friend would mean a lot. I want to keep doing videos like this, but I need to see that people enjoy it, to know that the effort's worthwhile. Thank you for supporting this video. Thank you for watching to the end, and thank you. See you guys.